low. High. Hope you're well. Hope you're swell. Hope you're wavy. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope you're doing nice. Nice. Hope you're doing nice. I saw this video. This guy was talking about, so this is like a black guy. He's talking about how he had in his university days like sex with these white girls, and he was talking about how white girls are freaky. I've never been with a white girl. I've been with like mostly black girls. There was like a Brazilian girl one time. It was a very brief, intense encounter with this Asian girl. But you know, I think it's inevitable to happen eventually. Get with the white girl, but I don't know much about that. But I think women are women at the end of the day. I think once you get to know someone, that allure of the exotic element, like, oh my god, that person of a different race, whatever. I think it wears off. I don't think it's that interesting, like the racial aspect. I think there's cultural differences, but culture isn't defined by race. I think I've definitely been westernized in the sense that I was raised in a lot of Western institutions. My education was Western, just people went to Western. And I was just exposed to a lot of Western culture. The media I was raised on was Western. You can hear the way I'm speaking. English is the only language I can speak fluently. Just the way I was raised. And there are a lot of people like me. They pull up coconuts, brown on the outside, white on the inside, which, whatever. But it's very common. So culture, it's not racial. People try and make it racial, it's not. I think if a child of any race is raised in a particular culture, they will be of that culture, they're emulated, right? So for that reason, it's like I've just always been like, people are people. In high school, my friend is like, by the way, one that I'm trying to stop doing is using filler words so much. I was listening to my video from yesterday, and I noticed that I was using a lot of filler words. Words like saying like a lot, saying a lot. So to combat that, I want to slow down, think about what I'm going to say before I say it, and then say it. I believe filler words come into use when you are trying to fill in the blanks while you're thinking. It's something you say when you don't know what to say, you're still processing, so you say something like, obviously when I use like just now, it was more so used for analogy. It wasn't a filler word in that sense. The word like has meaning and application, but when you use it as a filler word, you just sound unrefined. So I'm trying my best to get a hold of that. At least do it less. Because I was doing a lot of things today. Anyway. In high school, my friends were of different races. We had white friends and black friends. But I hung out with people I had similar interests with. I hung out with people that I felt we could that conversation. So I hung out with nerds. I hung out with people that were into rap music. I hung out with people that had shared interests. Maybe we were reading the same book, something along those lines. I never hung out with someone because they were the same skin color as me. That never mattered to me. Some of my best friends who are different race groups, I had a white best friend, I had an Indian best friend, and it had nothing to do with race. I had a black best friend, but it was none of it was race, so I do not care about that. I'm not going to be friends with someone because they share the same skin color as me. I've never been into this whole, like, black people are so interconnected and just understand each other. It's not true. It's not true at all. There's actually more genetic diversity among other black people than there is across racial lines. So I have more in common, genetically speaking, with a white person than I do with a Nigerian person. I have Zimbabwean ancestry, genetic heritage. I have more in common with some Europeans from a genetic perspective than I do with some Nigerians. Dude, you can look it up. It's just funny that black people think they're so similar, and in reality, the opposite is true. Wow. We're talking about differences like 0 point something different. We're all human at the end of the day. But the notion that because you're black, you share an understanding from some invisible link, bond, it's nonsense. People are people, and you should align yourself with those who have similar interests, similar values, similar outlooks, regardless of skin color. That is irrelevant. I do not care about that. That being said, going back to the story of the guy who was talking about the white girls that he was messing with one time. You're sleeping with one, and then she introduced him to her friend. He started sleeping with her friend, and then the friend was like, yo, like, I'm in town, like, I wanna, let's meet up. And then like, cool, but first you have to sleep with my other friend, because these guys are having a time with each other, like, oh my god, thank you. When she thought, this guy was very naive, he wasn't asking any questions. The first question I would have asked is, who is this friend? Again, because I want to know if she's pretty. I'm not going to see with her. Should we be sleeping with strangers in general? Maybe we should be waiting to do that in the safety of a marriage. But hey, whatever, right? Let's tell the story. He's not asking important questions like, who is this girl? Is she pretty? Well, turns out it wasn't a girl, it was a guy. This other black guy. And she starts sending videos of him giving blowjobs to other men and whatnot. And the guy was like, what is this? So he's shocked. That I did not think he meant that. She did tell him that she has a gay friend that she's living with. And then she did say, I want you to have sex with my friend first before I sex with me. You should have put 2 and 2 together at the friend that she's talking about this with now, but I guess he didn't. And then when he was just confronting her, like, what is this? What is that? When he confronted her on it, she said, you do this all the time. Like, me and the friend that you were speaking with before me, and you do this kind of stuff all the time. In fact, there are guys in the university that he's done this with, where he asked them to speak with another guy before he speak with them. It's just like something they're into. So he was shocked. He actually ended up asking those guys if it's true. The one guy owned up to it, like, everyone knows I'm like this dude, and the other guy was playing it, like, no, bro, I've never seen this, like, video evidence of them being compromised, of him being in a very compromised position. I'm not a fan of that stuff. To be honest, I don't approve of it. And I just don't see myself being in that position. I don't see myself getting into that, you know. I would have asked questions before she even sends me the videos of that. My question is, what would make me think that I'm into that? Is there anything in me that suggests that I like that? That would be concerning for me. Do I give all gay vibes? So I think it's very important to be straightforward with girls, you know. Hey. No. Don't do that. No. Ask questions. Who is this friend that you want me to sleep with? What the hell? What does she look like? Send pictures. Please. You gotta be careful out there, man. He was talking about how when he met the second friend at a club or whatnot, he took him outside and gave him a blowjob immediately. Like, he just got down to his knees and started fucking off the rip. And he was taken aback, but obviously he let it happen. Because a lot of guys don't have self-control. And I'll put myself in that bracket as well, unfortunately. I think as you become more sexually experienced, these things don't mean as much to you anymore. Which I guess is an upside of being experienced, is that sex can't be used as a weapon against you. Then again, some guys become really addicted to it and become harder to say no. So it's a mixed bag. But I think for most dudes, I think when you have access to women and it's not really something that you're wanting for, sex is something that you can get if you want it at any point. It's harder for then some random girl to like do it. It's harder for a random girl to lure you in with sexual favors and things of that nature. So if a girl that I just met is trying to give me an order, it raises alarm because it's like, how do you feel so comfortable doing this so quickly? It means you've done this before. And I'm stupid. I've allowed certain things to happen that should not have happened nearly as quickly as it did. And I didn't ask questions only to find out that she actually was for the streets. It's like when you're so quick to give it up, it really does beg the question of how often are you doing this? You just met me. Calm down. It's a red flag for sure. She could just be excited, but oftentimes, maybe I just really like you, and you just get me so excited. A lot of the times she's a hoe. She's for the streets, she's out here. She's so used to this that she doesn't even think twice. And it's dangerous because you can touch something from her. She could have hurt you, she could have, all sorts of sexual diseases that you don't want any part of that. But guys, you have to be careful, man. It's so scary to think about. I don't want And that's kind of like the downside of this sexually active lifestyle. You have to get tested a lot as well, because you don't know what these people are still doing. I'm not sure don't get tested, I'm sure. A lot of people just go out and about and they do the most, and they don't ever stop to think, have I contracted something at any point? It's just like, maybe it is. And that's one of the things that carries me from the lifestyle off from the street. I hate admin. I hate checkout. I hate all that sort of stuff. But I'm also someone who thinks a lot and overthinks. So in my mind, I need to get checked out. I need to get checked out. Because you never know. And that anxiety of waiting for results or stuff. When you're with one woman, you don't have to worry about these things. You're with her, you're with you, and you're not really sleeping around, you can rest easy knowing that the chances of either like having something is almost zero. Because they're exclusive. So that's a downside. But yeah, guys who are sexually experienced, it tends to be harder to control. If you're a pretty girl, you don't really have a hold over guys like that. I can say no. If a girl blocks you, you have to give me a break. I'm like, wait, bitch, what are you doing? You just met me. You're at a club. You don't know where my radio has been. Go on, leave. Be with it. Get back up. You need to have the sort of conviction where you can block a girl if she sends you a picture of a dude or a video of a dude sucking another dude or that, we're done. How dare you send me such bullshit? And when you know that like there's plenty of fish in the sea, it's easy to do stuff like that. But when you're kind of like in this beggars can't be choosers mentality, you will put up with a lot of nonsense just to get boxed. Hell no, bro. Hell no. Complicated. I don't want to find myself in such scenarios. So those are not the type of stories I want to tell. I don't like that type of story time. That's not my idea of a fun story time. But that guy, he was talking about how that situation scarred him. Like, I don't want to date white girls anymore because like the racism. I'm like, okay, calm down, you're being dramatic. I don't think most white girls are like that. I think there are future girls in every race too. And okay, she thinks she's some gay porn thing. It's not that deep, like I think he was overreacting, which does raise an eyebrow. Because even the fact that he went to confront the dude that he found out they engaged in these activities with these girls that he personally knew, I wouldn't want to know. I wouldn't pry. I wouldn't ask questions. I mean, that's their business. I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want to know. I didn't know homeboy was gay. Now I know. Listen, it has nothing to do with me. I don't want to ask questions about it. I don't want to know what's getting up in this private time. Why would you go and ask? This guy went on an interrogation, knocking on their doors and like, yo, is this true? Like, why does it matter? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So, the way he was reacting, it almost felt like he was overcompensating. It just felt strange, that reaction. I would have just been like, this is a learning moment. I need to be more scrutinous about who I get mixed with. I need to draw stricter boundaries. I need to be more firm about who I am, what I'm into. I like to think of myself as sexually adventurous. I want to have fun. I don't want to be the girl that's too cute and too vanilla, cookie cutter. Like, I want to have someone I can have fun with, I think it's important to keep your legs closed and project an image of modesty to the outside world, but to the person you're with. All bets are off. Not all bets. Not all bets, but there's limits. There's things I'm not willing to do. I have boundaries, she will have boundaries. I want someone who's adventurous and we can have fun. And we can be open about that and have conversations and explore that is good. But as a man, I just feel like there are certain hard lines you have to go on. Certain parts you should not go down. Not good. Not good. But yeah, I'm not a prude. Not at all. I try to balance that with trying to be a man's heart. Try not to cross the line. But yeah, I can get a bit freaky too. Yeah, I want to be able to match my energy. I want to be able to have sex often. I'm young, full of testosterone. Apparently that drive tapers off as you get older. But while I'm still young, I want to be able to, especially while we're married. I think when people get married, it's kind of, with the sex goes down. It's very common. Where the sex lives of married couples are not nearly what they used to be when they were dating. I think that's silly. I think it should be the opposite. I think when you get married, it should actually be even more intense. It shouldn't be the case that you just get used to each other and it becomes boring and vanilla. You should keep finding new ways to make each other happy. Keep things fresh, keep things exciting. So I think it's very important for me to end up with a woman that's my enemy in that regard. We're not roommates. We're not just chums. We are romantically involved. So let's explore that as well and continue to evolve in that domain as well. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think dating a white girl is that much different from dating. I've known white girls, I've talked to white girls, I've had friendships with white girls. I don't think it's that. Woman or woman, bro. Men are men. I don't think it's that deep. Visually, there's differences, of course, and you might be into one from an aesthetic point of view more than much than another. I get that. When it comes to my preferences, someone put it this way. Some people have the either-or mentality. I have the and mentality, and then mentality is that it doesn't have to be black girl or white girl. It can be both. Why do you have to be into one? You can be into both. Why do you have to be into Asian girl? You can be into Asian girls and like this, and. Why limit yourself in that way? I don't limit myself. I like to look at it as a spread of food. You at a buffet. Imagine that I only want the meatballs. I only eat meatballs. I only like meatballs. But there's sushi, and there's pizza, and there's pasta, and there's this and there's that and there's that, and just kind of drinks and there's this. It's like, I want it all. I don't limit myself by being like, I'm only into this thing, this very particular thing. That's how I view kind of the female preferences that I have. When people ask me what are your preferences, it's like, how much time do you have? I'm into all sorts of things when it comes to this. I don't have a racial preference. I only date white girls and anything like that. I don't really have that. There are moments, like on a particular day, depending on the weather, which direction my date is going in. I might have like a particular racial preference on that day. After I had that experience with that Brazilian girl, I became very into Brazilian women. I'm into it, say, it's doing a lot of online research. And then it just exposed me to that variety of females. But honestly, anyone can get it in the female category. I like big butts, but the small butts have their appeal too. I like big breasts. The small yet perky ones have their appeal too. I don't like overweight girls, being honest. But there are different body types where a girl might be more slim, a girl might be more curvaceous. I'm an and more. I'm a both and type of guy as we discussed. It doesn't have to be one or the other, it can be both. And it expands your horizons when you're trying to pick the one girl that you're going to be with forever. You don't want to limit her to this very particular group. She has to be this skin color and jacket, this body type and jacket, this eye color and this type of hair. It's like, what the fuck? I already have a particular type of woman I'm looking for when it comes to the more transcendental qualities or faith, values, interests, stuff like that. When I'm very rigid on the musical characteristics as well, that narrows the pool. You want to give yourself as many options as possible to increase your chances of finding someone. When you're too narrow in your preferences, good luck. Some guys only want girls at a certain height, 5'5" and below. I don't mind tall girls. I actually find it sexy that girls the same height as me. If she's taller than me, is that a turn off? Not you. There's an ego thing that you don't want your girl to be taller than you, but at the same time, I know girls that are taller than me don't feel like that's the truth. It's not a deal breaker if she's taller than me. What's the point? There's something exciting about dominating a girl that is bigger than you, you know? Still managing to dominate that. I think there's something. Anyway, like I said, buffet. It doesn't have to be one or the other, it can be both. I've said enough. I've said it. Like all over there. You might already be over there. You might be in the bushes right now. You're further off the bar. You gotta declare it's gonna get a simple something collecting this individual watching so much. Things make them whole, unique, and gotten wonderful people alive who love and take care of them. That's the best thing. Love and marriage is sustainable. Love and marriage making better and making expressing the spirit of gratitude for the different and everything in life. We don't cancel it. Please continue to make that easy. Yes, sir. Thank you for this time. This person also knows the God, the true, the true, and the true, good health, and happiness of this person, and the good, and the good, and the good, and the good,